All right, everyone. I'm sad to say Creepyjoe is at it again, once again making weird comments involving children. He had a bunch of carefully selected kids gathered around him so that he could give a little conference. He pretended to care about children outside of the bedroom and talk about his accomplishments as a steward of the United States, like the Inflation Reduction Act. Yeah, it's working really, really well. Inflation has come down so far. You see, the problem is that some people are delusional and don't understand the core price index and the fact that inflation is a year-over-year compounding rate. But, yeah, okay. Inflation is getting worse at a slower pace now. That makes me feel very confident in the Biden economy, despite the Fed the other day saying they might need up to 2 more rate hikes, which could collapse the job market. Yeah, it's a fun time had by all. It's full participation for everyone in society. If you're not a unipartyist, you get to suffer. Yay! All the way from the very poor up into the upper echelons of the middle class. 99% of the population does poorly under Bidenomics, but, you know, he doesn't care. Those aren't the people that are investing in his campaign. Joe Biden decided to make a creepy comment where he insinuated that Daddy owed these kids ice cream. Now, normally one would expect that was just a poorly worded statement. So the insinuation is, hey, your parents owe you ice cream, and I know some good ice cream places around here. It's a joke. It's lighthearted. It's humor. The problem is that because of Biden's repeated interactions with children, his touchy-feely tendencies, his bizarre statements in the past, especially towards minors, although not universally. Sometimes it's adult women, people 50, 60 years old. He just says and does weird shit. The problem is when you have a penchant for being a dirty old man, mentioning daddy and ice cream and hugging the kids at the same time, people put 2 and 2 and 2 together and they find it to be creepy. And Joe really shouldn't go off script. The problem is that he's remembering the 70s when he could make an off-the-cuff smarmy statement and maybe people would giggle or you know, the press would take it. He gets more attention or something like that because, you know, he was still coherent at the time. The problem is, outside of reading a script, he's not that coherent. Now, is he? We've got ample evidence of this. Even when he was vice president, Obama at times looked annoyed at Joe Biden when he would say something weird, like when he leaned in to tell Obama this is a big fucking deal. Look at Obama's reaction. It was basically, go away. Do not breach decorum at this time. It's too important. I got a statement to make. Joe, can you fucking go away? Behind the scenes, I guarantee that was more the relationship than in public. Hey, this is the bro team. They've got a bromance going. Can you remember that cringe shit from the 2010s? Obama and Biden are in a bromance. No, it's more like a massa and slave relationship. At least that's the way that both of them saw it. Obama said, I'm the big man. Joe, you're my court jester. Stay on the sidelines. Make a joke once in a while. Make my administration look less dour and humorless, because Obama, other than when he would dance on Ellen or something else completely cringe, rather a dour, solemn individual. In fact, that was what he sought to portray. He needed a counterbalance. Hell, why the fuck do you think that Trump chose Mike Pence? Why did George W. choose Dick Cheney? Normally, the president and vice president are behavioral opposites for a reason, because you're trying to pad out your resume. It helps. It just means sometimes the vice president sucks ass. Mike Pence and Dick Cheney and arguably Joe Biden all fit that description. By the way, you have to deal with morons, basically, to get elected. At least they were all more smart than their vice presidents. Yes, that includes Bush, by the way. Bush was very good as a method actor. Pretending to be dumb on TV was basically his job for 8 years. He fooled me at the time. Anyway, when you're known as a buffoon, it's fine, you can get away with it. But now Joe is known mainly as being a creepy, dirty old man. It's like that Canadian game show there with that one host. Some chick actually called him a dirty old man on that one. He was always trying to kiss and schmooze on like the very young female people that were on the show. And like there's an entire compilation reel of his moments. It's creepy. The dude was a pedo. I think he's dead by now. I think this was back in the 70s. The dude was a pedophile. You can kind of tell. At the time, more innocent people probably didn't get it. Oh, he's a sweet man. Oh, he loves these little girls. He loves little girls. Back in the 70s, if you said that, maybe some people would find it creepy. Now I think we understand as a society a little bit more what it entails. Joe Biden clearly does as well, although he doesn't seem to have a particular age range in mind. He's just creepy. He says and does creepy things. Please, Joe's handlers, one of you, the FBI agent that has to watch all of my YouTube videos to make sure I'm not doing too much insurrectionism or something. Can you please get a memo to your boss to mention to Joe that he may not want to mention little kids and ice cream and daddy in the same sentence again? Because otherwise people are going to start thinking things. It's humorous on one end, but it's darkly humorous. Not because I think that Joe was literally making a perverted reference. What he meant was, hey kids, beg your parents for ice cream. If he had said that, then he could have gotten a pass. The problem is that the person, the chief executive of the United States, the key and foremost diplomat of the United States, this is the man who has to conduct business with caliphate states and sheiks and weirdos, prime ministers and presidents around the world, and members of militaries and stuff that take over their countries and threaten cannibalism and stuff. You're talking with some really hardcore people as the chief diplomat supposedly representing U.S. interests in diplomacy. And you're making this kind of reference, and this is like the 50th or 60th time you've done it since you were selected for the stewardship. That's a little bit problematic. I think we know why Ukraine popped off and why China keeps rabble-rousing over Taiwan right now, and why North Korea is rattling swords at their Saudi neighbors. I think we know why these things are happening. Could it be that the President of the United States is a complete vegetable who barely knows where he is and can't stop himself from talking about giving little kids ice cream, thus making an ass of himself for, again, the 50th or 60th time? He can't even stand, so verbally, which one is more of a problem, actually? His inability to walk upstairs and possibly end up cracking his skull, or the fact that he keeps making weird references that make everyone in the world laugh at him? It's like when you ask other countries, and they say, well, we have more confidence in the United States leadership than we did under Trump. Yeah, because you can take advantage of the U.S. government more. And because most of your governments are globalistic too. So, yeah, wonderful. Everybody wins. Full participation. All right, Joe, why don't you have your brand muffin and your prune smoothie and go take a nap, because clearly you need it right now. That's about all. Peace out.